You know what? Yeah, no, I'm an ex evangelical fundamentalist since I was 13, and I became Catholic later on. And when I had dealt with anti-Catholicism and spiritual abuse from evangelical people, and even some Catholics who would not defend their own faith in the church, the Archdiocese in Houston is not a good idea. If I told Pope Francis on these people, they probably would not even be in ministry, probably be excommunicated, which is something these priests need to be. But I wanted to talk about this 20 years ago, and I had read a book called Twisted Scriptures by Mary Alice Qualnager. And what happened was back in 1998, 99, two girls, one was mixed. Her dad was Hispanic. One was white, one was full part white, part Hispanic, and they're from the poor Texas, I believe. And they got kidnapped to the point that with this evangelical cult kidnapped these two girls, and they went to Mexico. And this woman, Deborah Duncan, if you know here in Houston, Deborah Duncan, I met her two times last year and also in 2016 at a certain place she goes to. I'm not going to tell, okay? And I'm glad to see her, and I'm so glad because I love this sister be when she was on Channel 13. She's also on Channel 11 right now. I love her to death, okay? And not only because I was glad to see a sister that was on TV and wasn't mainstream like Oprah, but was getting there. Was hoping to get there, but she had brought good topics on her show, and she brought Mary Alice Qualnager. How you doing, sir? Let me finish. Okay, let me. Qualnager on the show, and I bought the book Twisted Scriptures, and it took me a while to read it because I'm one of those folks that was not one to read sometimes, but I read that book, and if you saw the book, I have a lot of highlighting and everything else, and I can tell a person manipulating certain scriptures and everything else. And that's when I found on the back of the book talk about the cults who are anti-Catholic, that to target Catholic folks. And as I found Catholic Answers and some other, you know, Patrick Madrid books, whatever, and Carl Keaton's books. But I start to realize that whenever time I go talk about cults and spiritual abuse, I mostly see white people. And yes, I am technically part Caucasian now in the family tree. My mom and dad are not pure black, okay? I don't look white. I don't look pure black either. I mean, I look more black, but I don't look like, Akon. But the truth of the matter is, you don't see people of color talking about spiritual abuse. I should mention other communities as well, but I know in African Americans in the community, when it comes to white people who are coming from cults, their families shun them. Okay, there's no audio. There is audio. There is audio. Yes, it is. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? It is audio. Hello. Yeah, it is audio. Yeah. Anyway, so let me finish. Okay. Okay. Bye for now. Okay. Cool. Um. And so anyway, can y'all hear me now? Cause I had the mute button on there, and let me see if I can spread the cause there should be a volume sign for medium. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, y'all can hear me. I don't know why. Can you hear me now? You can hear me, right? Okay. Well, maybe something wrong with y'all phone, but it's not wrong with my phone because I can hear. Anyway, so what happened is I noticed that when they lead these cults, these evangelical cults, these weird cults that's not even evangelical fundamentals or whatever, or even certain organizations that disguise themselves to be Catholic but not truly Catholic, go along with the church doctrines, they get shunned by leaving them. Now, I left my Protestant evangelical faith, and there are people who are that 9, 10. If I was to tell the laws on them, they'll be arrested for harassment, intimidation, trying to kidnap, or what's called involuntary when you're trying to keep someone in hold. I forgot what it's called. It's on the penal code, and they don't know that I have the potential to do that. If I don't want to hear what they got to say, I don't have to hear it. And their interpretation of the Bible is not true. But I noticed that when it comes to white people, not all, they do allow their children, they kick them out. Me, and since I'm not pure Caucasian, I look more African American descent. This controlling even after adulthood mess. Cause I don't mind my family shining me. I don't mind anybody who want to control me, want to be power trippy, power hungry, narcissistic people. If they reject me, that's a beautiful thing. Okay, it is less drama. And they ain't need to act like they're a God on this earth. Because me and them act like they're a God on this doggone earth. I'm gonna call one particular, you know what I'm saying? And I don't need no human form of God. That's not God, okay? On this earth trying to twist the Bible saying God gonna punish you when you know in Luke 6 chapter Luke 6 27 20 37 that you know that's against what you just did, saying that condemn, you'll be condemned, be supposed to correct in kindness, Second Timothy chapter 2 24 26. Love is not Christian of injury in Galatians chapter Galatians Corinthians chapter 16, Christians 13, 4, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm looking at the situation. I'm like, why, what's going on? So, what happened is, as I noticed that when in the community, people allow spiritual abuse practice in the African American community, and you have to call it like it is. It goes back through slavery. Charles Colcott Jones, Samuel Cartwright, Willie Lynch, all these slave owners used the Bible, especially these slave owners, these white Anglo-Saxon slave owners used the Bible to determine the slave's life. And this practice goes on in our community that is present, even some Catholic communities that are African American, but I notice it's very prevalent in the Protestant evangelical community, Protestant fundamentalist community, in the African American community. And if you run away from it, you don't get support. Y'all talking about me, why I don't have support. No, I don't get support from nobody. People will gain up on you and try to bully you and try to intimidate you and distort Bible verses. Act just like a slave owner on the plantation when a slave leaves. Um, and I started to see this behavior, and you have to put two and two together. So that led me to read history. And I started to look at books like from Charles Colcott Jones, the one who's a racist slave owner who in religious instruction of the Negro, and these beating and whipping and over this corporal punishment. This comes from a false interpretation of the word, and this is causing a lot of problems. The reason why our community is messed up is not too much. It is racism, it is white supremacy, but it's an inside job too. It's folks who spiritually abuse their children, and the children are afraid to question these beliefs. And they question because they say you question, you never question God. God, that Saint Paul said in Thessalonians, I believe, test everything how was good. You always have to discern. So when I hear these people who don't want to discern, you can tell they're very anti-intellectual and they don't go any further into what they was taught. Okay, and that's the reason why I'm bringing this up. Cause I noticed that in the anti-spiritual abusive community is mostly white. You have this support. Yeah, there's other races of people, but the anti-spiritual abusive community does not try to cater, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, to minorities. And if they do, you have minorities within the community, especially African American that I know of, who will stomach block that process. They said they'll use hide behind family oriented. And they forget that the Bible also talks about that Jesus put a sword in the family in Matthew 10. And that family, Jesus was not always for family. You have to separate from your toxic family members, even your children, even your adult children. I'm trying to say, even your parents. And both my parents, as y'all know, are toxic people, and so my grandmother and certain family members, and you know what I'm saying? And that led me to depression, suicide. And when you try to get away, and when I was in El Paso, Texas, the Latinos who are either Catholic or either Protestant evangelical who know this, and I believe some of them who's all in my business, being chismosos, when I was in it, I got Spanish, English, Spanish Creole, okay, in my roots, but in the time, and I know, and then They all in my business, and they always, you know what I'm saying. And I noticed that the Latinos in Houston and Latinos in El Paso, Latinos from other places are totally different from folks Latinos in El Paso, Texas. It's like this, some folks are scared to leave El Paso, especially when they hear about anti-Hispanic Latino racism. Um, I said, well, look, I left Houston, and I didn't tell nobody, that I was going to El Paso because you had some anti-Latino African American, no Mexicans. Well, excuse me, y'all doing the same thing, doing detrimental harm to me, just like those Mexicans would do to me too. You can't sit here and make that argument. You over here calling me out my name and trying to threaten to put a hand on me and all that stuff. You just as guilty as they are if someone did it to me. But I took the risk. And I had to take the risk because I wanted to achieve and get on in life. And nothing happened to me in El Paso, Texas, as far as when I be here in Houston talking to y'all, okay? But when I went to El Paso, I told one Latino dude that, look at your future. Don't let your family, stop you. And I know the extreme fan, I was shocked to see it because when I was up in the east side, I didn't see this. And then, of course, everybody different, but people say, well, they how about Latin culture, but not all Latinos practice the same doggone thing. You know what I'm saying? Even those who are from a certain country or whatever, or their heritage from a certain country. So I noticed this, but when it comes to they was in my business and telling me I should go back home instead of telling me for education and get my life together, and I kept tired sometimes want to cuss some individuals out, and I chose not to because they want to act a fool and getting the consequence of it. But the reason why I should listen to my gut feeling, and I take that back, I wish I did listen to my gut feeling and told these folks to leave me alone, went to the city rep and told these folks to leave me alone. Because it's like minorities, whether we African or Hispanic, we accept a toxic behavior. We think toxic behavior is normal when it's not. And it causes problems in our community. But like I say, it starts at home. It doesn't start just at here, in the society. It starts at home. So, in a lot of the gang members, I bet you everybody would not go to church, whether it be Protestant, Catholic, or either if they are Orthodox folks. But you know what I'm saying? Let me be real with y'all. Because someone would be narcissistic and rule twisting those scriptures, twisting those Bible verses, twisting those doctrines, and saying that they'll be doomed forever. So you tell a child that they're doomed forever, they'll always feel that way about themselves. And since you the mom and them dad, and they trust you, you know what I'm saying? And they'll become the gangsters and thugs, the cholos and everything else, the hood rats, whatever. Charlotte, whatever. So a card like it is. But then you have the priests and ministers of the evangelical project or sometimes the Catholic, they will defend these parents who are twisting the Bible and act like God don't look at them when they're wrong. Have this old like God overlooks their be. I don't know, he doesn't. They just guilty they if I did wrong. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is the problem. We in the spiritual abusive community, meaning the people who are against spiritual abuse, not those who are for it, need to reach out to minorities. And I kind of think they keep this hidden from minorities because they don't want minorities to succeed because it's a spirit and mind that help you succeed. It's not the outside. And so when you hear spiritual abuse in the community, people laugh about it. People act like they never know because the folks who's supposed to be educated don't know because they don't go out further when it was taught from home and from school, or they ignore it. Let's be real. They try to put their negative experience with their intelligence, which is that doesn't make sense to do. But it is what it is. So that's the whole reason why that we get abused, and when we fight against abuse, we seem to be the bad people, and the abuser is the good people. And there's no aid to us Psalms amongst these so-called Christian people who defend that, or the Good Samaritan, or 30th or 25th of St. Matthew. You know what I'm saying? So when I see a less of that, you'll make you stop going to church. You know what I'm saying? But we in the community who know about spiritual abuse, who know Bible verse can be distorted, even the Bible, St. Peter says in 2 Peter chapter 2, chapter 1, 20, 21, and 3, 15, 17. And these folks who out here preaching the Bible don't even know that or they ignored it. You know what I'm saying? These people need to be put on check. And it needs to be taught. People have been spiritual abuse in the African. We need to speak up, go on YouTube, go on Facebook, whatever, go on Instagram, so we can have a better community. This is causing problems. And the elders who don't want to change their little stubborn evil behind, leave it behind. They are the wolf in sheep clothing. You know what I'm saying? If the young people too who's leading their legacy, leave they behind. They're wolf in sheep clothing. They twisting his word to do evil, and that's where they get the little kick and verification of. It's not them doing it out of love. If I have, I'm not the perfect person, don't get me wrong. I know I sin on this channel, but the funny part is, if the Bible say love is not corruptible over injury, why I'm seeing that person not doing that? Why they not use why they make excuses? Then why if it says that correcting kindness at 24 2 2 Timothy 20 chapter 2 24 26, why am I seeing that behavior? If I see them twisting scripture, why I'm seeing it? If I see them being lorded over in Ezekiel 34 tells you that not the Lord over 1 to 7, I think 1 to 4, 1 to 7. Why I'm not seeing that behavior being challenged? Well, if Jesus himself told in Matthew, book of Matthew and book of and Mark, I believe, or not probably Luke, that the Gentiles they law over the benefactors in this flock. You don't do this, and why I'm saying this law over and trying to dominate someone like the Ephesus, and in the first church, which is the Catholic I belong to. You know what I'm saying? Since it's found in Matthew 16, and Saint Peter brought it to first 5:13, First Peter 5:13. In the first church, Saint John kicked out of the Ephesus, and the third it's the third John, excuse me, 3 John 9:10. So if I say the extra behavior, that's not Christ-like. These people try to brainwash you. Now, I was pretend in the years when I got educated by that, but this is not Christ-like. This is bad, dominating behavior, and it's not of the Lord. So when I see a person doing it and think that I love you, no, you love to have power. The idea them preaching the gospel to someone who's uneducated, what they're talking about, is to have power over them, have demonic power, worse than any made up Illuminati story out there. They don't care about the person's soul, as long as they have it under control and they be the human God on this earth to it. They don't care about their own soul to discern what they doing wrong. You know what I'm saying? So the truth of the matter is, y'all, we have a lot of demonic entities that claim to be Christian in our community. And two, this is was we see white people talking about spiritual abuse who have left these evangelical cults or whatever. But the problem is our community got so used to it since slavery. And once you start reading about slavery, what made it successful, it wasn't the Bible itself. It was a distortion of the Bible, okay, that led this to the situation of the control of the slave's mind and body, so he or she would not leave. Okay, use intimidation, lynching, rape, and all this other stuff to keep you intact because they want to make business. What I'm saying? The love of money, root of all evil, what St. Paul would say. You know what I'm saying? So since we out the plantation and we out of Jim Crow, this behavior should be out of 2018, going on 2019. We should not be out here practicing these behaviors that detriment, these old wolf and sheep clothing behaviors that our white ancestors told our black and mixed race ancestors be real up in here. And we leading this mess into the 21st century. Well, my grandma, excuse me, your grandma and your grandpa are not always right. They're human just like you. And a lot of y'all need to stop thinking that. If even Jesus said you love them more than you love me, the disciple in Matthew 10, what that tells you. Okay? So by them shining, I don't mind being shunned by folks who want to hurt me and hurt my soul and heart and want to be a bully and claim to be Christian. Like I can see to that I'm gonna cuss here, BS. That they just faking. If they don't know what they're doing, then they should not even be doing it. So when I see that old negative behavior, trying to gaslight and try to project, doing all these narcissistic behavior, I can tell they're not in the right. And they will try to get rid of a person who will tell it like it is. So that's the whole reason why. But in our community, if there's white people, our cousins, should I say, who are not going to help us, then we people of African American community need to start to help ourselves and help others who and stop defending spiritual abusive behavior. Okay? Stop defending it. It has no place in our heart and soul. Okay? And that's for a fact. You know, the more you defend this, you know, defending your white master ancestor. Call it like it is. That's true. Well, you know, that's how I raised. Okay, well, discern your upbringing, see if it's right. Don't sit here and defend it because you was taught that. Man, you know that the behavior is not right in God's eyes. But anytime you want to defend it, it makes you look silly. And some of our people need to stop being dumb when it's the time not to be dumb. People suffer of a lack of knowledge. Hosea 4:6, right? I ain't perfect, but it's funny that God wants us to know knowledge of things, but He wants you to question so you can understand. The question is not about don't doubt it. You know what I'm saying? It's also to understand why so you can have a better understanding and do it. And some of these people who don't question it, they wants to be bullies and so they can get pleasure out of it, like they white master ancestors on the plantation. That's the whole reason why. No matter if they dark skin, light skin, kinky, curly hair, whatever, straight hair, whatever. Okay? So it's a spiritual entity that doesn't want us to make it because we don't want to make it. Okay? And we need to stop defending spiritual abuse. Do your research on spiritual abuse people. Find the Bible verse that's mostly overlooked and twisted. Start doing that and see how your life will change. Even I don't have that much money, at least my spirit is not with those folks. Because I'd rather be, you know, I don't want to be happy with money, no, unhappy with money, but faking I am. If you know what I mean? So they use, you know, and that's why I noticed this behavior even in my own family. And when I was saying about Uganda with that white preacher Jimmy Taylor, I saw my grandmother and that dude. I saw my dad, even though he's an atheist. My aunt, you know, and other family members, and my mom. And you know what I'm saying? And I told y'all that those Ugandans never discerned when their white man was calling all type of racial slurs. They were brought, and they one thing that they love to do is go to countries where no one's not practicing their faith, their interpretation of their faith, excuse me, to get folks locked in. They can't do it in America. And it started right at the integration. Many of those white evangelical people were in hiding. We had their own private schools. And that's what some of them in the police department, y'all, who, yeah, for real. Some of these people who are white racist police department, they came from this environment. This in misinterpreting the Bible and twisting it. And that's why they don't have no empathy of doing wrong to you. They think they're doing something right when they're not. They false interpret the scriptures. Okay? It is what it is, y'all. So don't let that fool you. But oh, well, they doing it. I know they're doing this to be evil, to do wrong to people. And you got folks African sin who grew up in that, believing that, and thinking that it's just when it's not. Even on the police force, even on a job. And when you question that, they don't like that because it's their conscience eating it out. They know what they're doing in their own conscience. Sometimes, even though they've been brainwashed, they're in the wrong. But they have supporters that they back them up. That's what keeps them going. The gatekeepers. But we should know that anytime someone act very detrimental and rude in their authority, and you're not apologetic about it, not empathetic about it, they're not, then you know they're full of arrogant behavior and they're not of the Lord. Don't be fooled about them saying they have good money and cars and stuff. Sometimes they be getting money the wrong way and lying, say they got it good. Heck, if they out there preaching, got folks getting money. Yeah, they Lord bless, because people can't get out on church and then not discern what you were doing and gave you a bunch of money. That's how you end up striking rich. Let's be real. And the same people that gave you that money live in a tore up house. You saying that God and love them and all this other stuff, old John Calvin junk, name it, claim it mess. That's not even biblical. You gonna twist the word and say, well, I'm living good because I do everything the Lord told me. All this a false interpretation. They in a hut, they in a ghetto, and you drive a nice Bentley and looking the suits way better than the people who go to your church from suits. You know, y'all shocked that I'm not shocked about that because I read about this type of stuff in late 90s and 2000s. I'm not shocked about that. People sometimes when they can't make money, the hustle is to be a preacher. You got even gangsters doing that mess. Gangsters. They still snakes when it was bikers and gangster thugs or churls, whatever they were, and they in ministry and they doing this mess in the church. They ain't left their sinful behavior. Just using or sheep clothing to cover it up. Y'all shocked about that? Shocked? No, I'm not shocked because I read about this type of stuff. When I was getting spiritually attacked, when I had the eschatological mess going on in the early 2000s and 1990s, late 90s, excuse me, I read a lot of religious books and about spiritual abuse, about catapologetics, and everything. Even former Protestants who were Catholic who would talk about what what type of practice they did. You know how they would try to befriend you and then trying to convert you to their religion. Trying to set you up and then try to be forceful with it. Oh, I know that little signs. Had a guy other day, me and my homegirl were talking on the bus with a bus turning this dude and this Hispanic dude, and you can tell by the eyes of a person that eyes are no good. You know what I'm saying? But he tried to act like all Christ like and stuff. So he heard me, and I'm not perfect. I said some cuss words, but he tried to sit next to me and the homegirl. My homegirl, I think she part Mexican. She mixed. Anyway, she's sister, but she mixed. She's very exotic. She bought my cup, but she's more exotic. Her hair's different texture. And she walked me and her and the more dude is more a little darker than me that was hanging with the Latino dude who's a evangelical saw us. We walked away from the dude, and he saw no, because I said, dude, I know you're about because I heard him trying to preach on the bus before. But the eyes of that dude, it has no nice eyes. It looked like a demon. And I'm an ex-Protestant. No matter what your eye color and your race is, when you have that staring demon eyes, I know you're talking about the eyes with on the hand like that. Illuminati, no, excuse me, you have it too. You know what I'm saying? They had the eyes on there, staring like I'm ready, to pray with the E, not with the A, on you. You're not gonna let me because I'm smart. I know about that. I'm X of that. Now I'm not part of that God judge me, but bro, I let God judge me and correct me. I don't need you to correct me. You're human. Continue to try to find your journey. You screwed up in it, okay? Cause I'm about to get that phone, contact the laws on this dude. And he left me alone. He saw that me and that girl, my homegirl, we walked away from the dude. Cause we ain't gonna let nobody try manipulate us and walk close to us like you trying to hit up on her and hit up on me. You know what I'm saying? It looked like that as well. But the eyes there, you're not gonna spare your false version of gospel with me. Cause I know what you're about. I'm an ex of that. And they don't like to hear that because they know that they are trying to be in someone's circle, trying to spy on people, trying to look for some way to control them. And that's true, y'all. I know y'all know that. They have no business doing that. They have no business doing that at all. Have no business doing it. That's why there's laws against it. They get mad. That's the devil. That ain't the devil. First of all, you supposed to be voluntary with your message. You ain't supposed to be forceful with it. Coercing people, enforcing people. That's what a devil does. Because you're looking for power. And then, too, you on the doggone bus. So you trying to get the next Bentley? You know what I'm saying? Give me your being made church and get the next. Let's be real, okay? And no, nobody not gonna do me. I chose to be Catholic. Okay. Once I visited my friend's church, cause I saw how different interpretation was, and I saw more mercy of the teacher of God's mercy that would let me to the church. And then I saw the true worship to God was the communion table, was the sacrifice on the altar. Cause he said, "Well," I said, "Well, we go to church every Sunday. We don't have no communion. What the heck?" I did say that back in '91. I'll never forget that when I visited one of my friend's church. I said, it don't make any sense. They had communion. We had communion every month. Why we can't have communion on the first day? I mean, on the first, no, first day, on every time we go to church. We supposed to worship God, right? But that's the whole reason why. So when I saw that behavior, I was like, oh, let me call Metro Police. you know, you're not supposed to be forcing religion on people. And they have it bad. I seen it happen. I'll never forget back in 2007, coming from the child support technician job over for Greg Abbott, not the when he was a governor, but for child support. I was coming from the one of the office on the north side, and ride number 40 P court. Never forget, they had two P court. One goes North Line Mall, and one goes to Ella. And coming from that area, where we hit right there on Shepherd, where there's a Kroger's and stuff. This white man was trying to get folks to go in his church. You can tell he had mental issues as well. Dark skinned man worked at the pizza place. I think he was with Papa John, one of them pizza places. Coming from a dark skinned brother, you can tell it's work. So I'm gonna cuss him and let y'all know y'all laugh. So I said, "Do I already believe in God?" That's what I told the white dude. White dude, he said, "Do you believe God?" Yeah. He said, "I said, I just told y'all believe in God." Excuse me for name. I want to shit, leave me alone. And the dark skinned brother who drive the bus didn't even tell this white dude to leave alone. So I guess he was in cahoots of it too. So I told the man, I said, "Sir, do you know his Bible verses? What you're doing is wrong." "I don't care." So you already know you ain't all that Christ like. The man said he ain't one bar. So I talked to the brother, my dark skinned brother. I talked to him. I said, "Yeah." I started putting them Bible verses that he was doing against you. He said he didn't care. Yeah, I told him, "Man, leave me alone and stuff. I do love God and stuff." And exactly, I said, "But that's the next time I get the police involved, because they ain't supposed to be on the bus harassing you and trying to get you to join their church." And let me let you know, it's a hustle. As I did more research on this, y'all, it's a hustle. These folks are trying to get their own church, so they get vulnerable, gullible people who don't read the Bible or whatever. That's how Jim Jones did his hustle. Got folks drinking that old poison purple Kool-Aid. They trying to get people who don't know, who are intimidated. Like that dude like the other night. I wasn't telling about the Latino dude, the old man. I wasn't telling him, but I'm telling you something. Because I've been in this situation. You come and bother me about some religion. I can call the ACLU. You know what I'm saying? I can call HPD. All right? And have you, and if the cop don't want, I can get my Congress, Texas representative, and get you behind trouble. Because you got cops who believe in that type of controlling method, who try to defend what they doing. Y'all, we fight against spirit and power, principality, baby. We're not flesh and blood, baby. Call it like it is, y'all. So that's the whole reason why. And so I'm not supposed to understand that I'm from the South. I seen this old fake so-called Bible Belt South. It's a distortion of the Bible Belt. I call it a distortion of the Bible. Distortion of the Bible Belt. It ain't no Bible Belt. How can it be the Bible Belt? And this was a time where folks were getting lynched. You had folks go to church on Sunday. That's why you talk about the catcher being pedophilia and all this. They had pedophilia. You had white preachers raping little black children. Come on, doing slave days and stuff. Had to cut out great grandpas and stuff. Okay, and he burning the Baptist church burning a bomb in that church where them four sisters got killed, and some of them became preachers later on, part of KKK. Okay, you had folks doing this is weird, y'all, because you had these elders who defend this argument against what I'm saying well, was a help to these white people. It could be distant cousins since we don't have pure black DNA. You had folks go to this is y'all in the South. Lynchings were prevalent on Sunday. Listen to me again. Lynchings in the South were prevalent on Sunday. Okay? Listen to me, y'all. You had people who will go to church, Sunday school, okay? Sunday school, okay? Go on Sunday school, and while they go to Sunday school, listen to me, y'all. They will go to Sunday school, okay? And then go lynch a brother and have kids have a picnic. The word picnic, pick a nigga. You hear me out? This one we're trying to make America great again. So how is that the Bible Belt? How, because it's Protestant. I know it, but how is that the holy of the country? If you go to Sunday school, learn about the Lord, get all dressed up, and then go pick a brother and lynch him while you eating peanut butter, Genesis and stuff. Y'all get my point? You see, so I'm glad I brought that up. The same people that the white folks with your grandma, grandpa, great grandpa, light skin, dark skin, whatever was working for, who told you to obey and listen to them, who not tell lynch your grandpa, your daddy, or whatever back in them days. Imagine that poison been telling you that. These are good white people. Make sure you're doing what they told you to do. The Lord gonna bless you doing so. This is the mentality you listen to. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. That's the whole reason why. And that's why I would never call this part of the country the Bible Belt. Not because I'm an ex-Protestant Catholic convert, and I know there's a distortion of scripture, and I don't like Martin Luther in 1500s. However, the sickening, the rape, because every time y'all talking about one thing, I was for Kaepernick, but please stop mocking my religion when you, my Catholic, about the Catholic sex scandal, when we have great grandpas who are white, who were ministers, who were slave owners and ministers who also defend slavery, who raped our black grandmothers, great grandmothers, during that time when America was so called great, okay, who had a Bible in their hand. Every time I see that post, it makes me mad. Oh, let the Catholic Church priests get away, but you gonna get mad by Catholic. First of all, don't make fun of my religion, y'all. Who say that? Stop. I saw on social media and it made me mad. I said, half y'all got great grandpas who are white, who were preachers, who were Baptists, ministers, and Methodists, and Presbyterian, and everything else in the South who defended slavery in the South. And you had white Catholics who came down south to defend your rights. Not every white Catholic, but you had white German folks in Texas who was against slavery during Texas was part of the Republic of Texas when it got stolen from Mexico, and even doing when it became part of the Confederacy. Folks on the other hand, you had Spain, French, who were not part of slavery, who was against in Louisiana going against this mess. Who would defend your rights. They don't teach that truth in history. In the Irish. You don't got many people who are part black and Irish because you had Irish white men like Muhammad Ali's grandfather who was against slavery married that black woman who was a Catholic. A lot of folks don't know their history. Yeah, you had white Catholics who went against their own faith and joined white supremacy, but they did it out of money. Not to defend what they did. A lot of folks did not know it was out of money. Being white and money. Okay? But not all of them were for slavery and Jim Crow. Many were terminated and lynched, along with the carpetbaggers and scallywags. If you know that terminology, y'all. who was white pride, who were against it, also Jews. Because one thing the South did not like Jews or Catholics who were white, because the threat was to stop the slavery and the Jim Crow in the South. A lot of folks not know that. The ones who joined the side with them was out of fear, intimidation, and money. Let me say it again, money. You had Italians going to school with black children. A lot of folks don't know that because they were not considered white. Well, yeah, a lot of folks don't know that. I'm being real. So the truth of the matter is, in the South, when I hear about black folks who are not pure black, but African American people defend their slave masters' belief system, and I'm sorry, the white Anglo-Saxon Protestant belief system that came in the black churches corrupt our people. That's why many of us have slave mentality today in 2018. And the elders kept it for centuries. Kept going on as the way this letter was about. And while these older cats, I cannot get along with them. If their mentality have not been reformed, if you know what I mean, from what they was taught from Jim Crow, I cannot talk with them on that. And they talk to me as a little kid because I'm younger than them. But they forget I'm getting older. I'll be 40 next year. Count that 20 years, a day later, I'll be 60. I just take care of myself. Like Strawberry, I don't do voodoo and all that stuff. But Strawberry, we do natural stuff. Y'all know Strawberry we against Cardi B. We do natural stuff. Now I do eat meat. I gotta have my meat, baby. I gotta have my turkey and my chicken and my pork, okay? But I eat meat. But I do eat healthy stuff, and I do cook with olive oil. I don't cook with no vegetable oil. You not see no fried chicken or olive oil, vegetable oil. And I do eat vegetable oil chicken because if I need something to eat. But when I cook my own fried chicken, it's olive oil, baby. I make cakes with olive oil, canola oil, coconut oil, baby, and I wash my coconut oil too. That's why my face looks so good, baby. For 39 years old, I take herbs and vitamins. Okay, I eat healthy. I eat vegetables, healthy stuff. But the truth of the matter is, the whole reason why many of us, you know what I'm saying, and they try to talk to us, try to brainwash us. And I know from a slave mentality that been passed down from Jim Crow that I can detect and discern it. And I'm like, you don't listen to me. But if you're so wise, you don't ever talk to a person who don't want to listen to you. Y'all heard I said, if you're wise and you're wiser than me, you know you have wisdom. You know it's a fool you don't talk to who don't want to listen to you. Because you listen, you get hurt. A lot of folks not know that. The Proverbs 9:7 says, "Person who don't correct a person who corrected you have insult. Correct the person that love correction and love you." So my question is, why would you waste your time if I don't want to listen to you? If I'm the fool, I'm the fool, right? We'll move on. But it's about control and have intimidation of that person, and that's what goes in our community. And the violence you see in this gangster rap and thuggery, the violence came in home when they started beating these kids. They say you'll beat your kids and go to jail. My question is, when you have a bunch of, if I go in the jail cell in the prison right now and ask them brothers of any shade, dog, or light, did y'all get beaten at home? Majority of them gonna say yes, they did. So why they in prison? Is that the Bible not wrong? It's your interpretation of the Bible. So that's the whole reason why our beliefs are. I understand. It's a spiritual situation why our community is so messed up. It's not the external. The spirit and the mind goes outside and make it external. If you know what I mean. So until we get a cure of the spiritual abuse in the cults in our community, along with the Israelites, they are a cult too. Yes, they are. If someone who listens to me, you are a cult. That's why I know your interpretation of the Bible is false. Until y'all start to examine these groups and see for yourself, you'll know what I'm talking about, y'all. But the reason why the many of us don't go further in life, it's a community of a cult. They want collectivism. The more numbers they have, the more power they have control. Now, I'm not saying don't go with somebody with a common interest belief, but you have to go take those who are true believers of it, not fake believers. That's the point that they're supposed to understand. True believers and fake believers. Because you have folks with smile on your face who will say they believe in it and just believe shoot but deep in how they don't believe in it. And folks try to grab them folks while they've always fallen. Okay? But y'all need in our community, you do church history, you need about religion and stuff, and you need to stop thinking that whatever you was taught, it was always right. Discern that. Because if you don't discern, you will always make the same mistake. And a lot of folks don't realize that. And stop twisting the Bible to abuse your kids. Beat children so you can feel like master. The whole idea of folks defend that is because it's about power and control. And if you dehumanize it, not dehumanize it, if you delegalize it and you make it illegal, these folks will scream bloody murder for not having power and control. It is not about trying to teach a child right. You don't have to call your child all type of names and beat you like a slave on a plantation to get your child right. If you got to do something wrong with you behind, you're behind. Ain't wrong with the child. Okay? These folks who believe in this, these old preachers and these ministers, these are wolf in sheep's clothing. And don't be scared to critique them. Do not use that verse about touch now. And let me let you know that's a false interpretation of 105 Psalms. It was taught by the children of Abraham. You know what I'm saying? Jacob. Y'all get my point. One time about these bad prophets. Then too, Peter did the same thing. Was criticized by Saint Paul. All of us are anointed according to St. John in his first letter. I think his first letter, First John. And Jesus said, watch out the bad prophets. Anyway, he critique bad authority, the five presidents. So that's a false interpretation of the Bible. And all apostles are supposed to be, meaning people of authority, spirit authority, supposed to be tested in the court of Revelations. So all that is a false interpretation. Don't let that. No, baby. Always discern your leaders. Be one thing. They touch on all that. It's a false interpretation of the Bible to keep it under control. And they lucky they by them twisted scripture. They lucky that they not being tested. Remember, didn't the Bible say in the third chapter of James chapter 1, 2, 3 that and it's either we all not be masters or because masters in Greek means a teacher. It's like in Spanish, maestros. So in different translations, like in New American, it says we not all presume to be teachers, all be judged strictly. These folks are not teachers when they acting all animalistic. So our community have a spiritual problem. We call it like it is. It's a spiritual problem. It's a spiritual problem, and that's why we don't come up. And you gonna talk bad about the Catholics? Let me let you know. One thing about me, even though I'm poor, I still got money coming in. Thank the Lord. And the one thing, if no one don't give you money, you gotta make your own money. And the Bible say, "For our works is dead." Y'all going by a false interpretation of faith, okay? And that's when they were talking about of works. St. Paul's talking about that you don't need it in was it Galatians or one of Philippians, one of whatever book I forgot it was, but it's talking about circumcision. It's not talking about not actual. So, but St. James is correct. And Martin Luther from the Revelation was wrong for distorting this. You do need faith with works. One thing is not about folks getting Latino workers, but I'm gonna let you know, when African workers or Caribbeans, many of those folks know that if you don't work, you don't eat. And you don't have faith, you don't get, you know what I'm saying? Faith without works is dead. So every time I go on a job, these folks know, dang, you so hard working. Because my faith taught me that when I left prime system. If you do not work hard, you don't get nowhere in life. And there is no umbilical, it's in the Bible. And a lot of people in the Hispanic community, in the African community, in the Caribbean community knows that if you are not hard working, you don't succeed. And they're shocked when they see someone like me on the job. I don't take BS from people mistreat me. But me, I'm a hard worker. Even when I had a bad employer, the dark-skinned brother from New Orleans at the very place, he kept on telling the white folks I was a hard-working person, and I put my hand on my Bible and I don't lie about that. He didn't like nobody. He liked me because I didn't tolerate his bad behavior towards me, how he treated me, because I don't let that old slave mentality like he did. Okay, him and that white woman for him. Okay, the truth of the matter is, y'all, and I thought, dang, You so hard. I don't know why you work so hard. And folks say, excuse me, because the Bible says, faith without works is dead. Okay, in the book of James, chapter 2, 24, 26, faith, and that's why, and me hang around Latinos who either they're Catholic or they've left the Catholic Church, they became Protestant, they still practice that behavior. Faith without works is dead. If you don't get nowhere in life, you can't. Thank you. And one thing, when I was on in Vega, dealing with the dark skinned sister at the convenience store, she cannot call me lazy because it took me a while to clock out. I was supposed to clock out at 2. I ended up clock out at 6 trying to do something because in Vega had me so slow. I was able to escape the fact it's order. Okay? And I'm reading case about how in Vega screwed up people, screwed me up. I'm glad to, but the doctor from New Orleans who's Creole, 19 Creole part time, I got him off when I stitched on him 4 years ago to the state board. Got my lawyer, boy, told me to come to the state board. He was being rude to me and a Nigerian woman at the MHRA. But truth of the matter is, I know when I was off there in Vegas, I worked hard. Like, dang, you working fast. Yeah, because I believe in working fast, work hard. You one thing, if you come from a critical narcissistic grandmother, and I call it like it is, who told you that you work slow like a turtle and you can't think good and all that stuff, and I take ginkgo biloba, I drink a lot of caffeine, and I take ginseng to motivate me to move faster. That's I don't do no weed, no kush, no crack, none of that mess. That's poison. So my point is, you take herbs and vitamins to move faster. They say, dang, you work fast. You doing good. You in no problem. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, thank you. You can't tell me my work performance is bad. I'm familiar with something, or your instructions are not accurate, or not clear, should I say? So that's how I know. So me per se, when it's accurate, seeing people who talk, well, God will give you something metallic and name it, claim it, mess. Let you know I outsmart them on the job, and they say, "Dang, you work hard," because I don't have that mentality that you have. It's not that I'm better than you, no. But I went out and seek everything. One thing the Bible say, what Jesus say, ask for it and you'll find like it'll be open to you. Besides me asking, I go seek it. I go look for it because I know it's going to determine my life. So that's the whole reason why. Okay, my mentality is totally different, and that's the whole reason why a lot of people, even the white dude that was who my boss at the other job in security, when he heard me talk about business, talking about my own business, about reading books, he was shocked that, you know what I'm saying, that when I'm about to leave the job, yeah, besides me sitting at home and looking at bills on YouTube, I'm also looking at bills about how bill. Thank you. It's just trying to change my mentality that I've been brainwashed from my corrupt family and folks who enabled what there was those in the Catholic Church or Protestant, the community that's very toxic. So that's the whole reason why. You get my point? You know what I'm saying? Even out of school, I still persevere. You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference between me and other people who just sit around and don't do nothing. I couldn't have got me if I was homeless. I still would be looking for a job. I still be looking for something, you know what I'm saying? Because you can't sit there and not do nothing and ask for some money. You know what I'm saying? So y'all, when I was even begging for money, I still was working. And I let you know that I ain't gonna sit here and lie. You know what I'm saying? Let me let you know. When I'm begging for money to support this channel, it's also to get my career started. It's like a crowdfunding. But if y'all don't, you know one thing, when those folks ain't trying to help me out, guess what Zach doing? He looking for other ways to get the doggone money. You show dog right. I ain't support nobody who don't support me. That's me, y'all. I don't give a care. You don't care about me. I don't even care. I need you around me. Bye. Shun me. But that's what I'm saying, y'all. When it comes to spiritual abuse, many of us who don't do anything in life, our family, spiritual abuse, us, we had a community, we had a church, we had even a society as races, keep that going so we can stay at the bottom. And one thing that they're supposed to realize in this video, when Willie Lynch syndrome, please read the Willie Lynch letter. It does say that it will go in centuries. You know what I'm saying? Our white ancestor did say this mess would go to those with black DNA, not technically what I'm saying, but he meant for us to have a ruin for generation. And when you have elders, that's why I didn't listen to my grandparents or when they were wrong, or anybody in our family when they started bringing this type of behavior up in the actions. Or my mom and dad. There's a William Lynch syndrome, beaten and put the fear of God, all these old stuff. First of all, the white folks, because they have an avenue to get out, but we was taught since we got black DNA, we're not pure Caucasian, to remain in this damaged lifestyle. So I'm letting you know, y'all, you need to do y'all research on spiritual abuse. And as you're reading these stories from these white people or those other communities who have been to spiritual abuse, also start reading your history on a spiritual level about slavery and why what they did what they did. Because it says a lot about what we're going today. And maybe you would not be having no hood, thug, hood rats, and gangsters. And like I said, a lot of it, I bet you these gangsters, thug, hood rats today had bad parents who told you ain't gonna be nothing, God gonna punish you, and they internalized it and went on besides going looking for. I'm gonna tell it like it is. And the only thing other YouTubers, they don't tell you all that stuff. If I didn't listen to my grandmother, if I let her bad words reflect my life, even though it did some way, I'll be out there thugging whoever she's gonna be nothing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And but I knew that she was a liar when she said that. I knew that she was a human being just like me, and I knew that Matthew 10 verse was correct compared to what she believes in. That's the sword between us. And my mom and dad, how they treated me, like dehumanized me. First of all, one priest had said this, and he's actually accurate. We'll guard our children first, then our parents. So when our parents not doing right, please look at Matthew 10. Okay, look at Matthew 18. The scandalized the little ones. A lot of folks think that authority can give away everything. No, it cannot. If it's not a just authority, it's not with God. And when St. Paul was talking about respect authority, and he's talking about a just authority, not a wicked one. Because even St. Peter said in the book of Acts, what did he say? He said, love God rather than man. Obey God rather than man. Thanks. You know what I'm saying? So when man is wrong, doing abusive things, doing ugly things, even these cops that's doing wrong, they not with God. Y'all need to get that out of your head. I had talked to a sister about that. He respect authority. No, when authority is wrong, you don't do wrong. You just as guilty. And when I say, okay, when the Antichrist come in, are you gonna go along with it? They shut up when I say that. I said, when they was lynching folks back, shut her up. She could not today because I knew how to get her. Because one thing these folks, they don't discern what they was taught. If the authority is not just, you don't listen to that authority. Okay? Now, of course, it's a violent situation. If a police come with a gun in here, you don't try to fight the person. Don't do that, man. But I'm saying, go ahead and report that person. Go to your congress, man, or woman. Get that dude, a woman, out of the power that you pay taxes to. Okay? You got to understand, y'all, that our community has accepted spiritual abuse on the Christian level. Even with the nation Islam, they are spiritual abusive. The Israelites, you need to start discerning what your beliefs are coming from. In the history and who the founder, do that, y'all. Please do. But when it comes to the history of slavery, please look at the spiritual part, the religious part of it, because it helped folks, and folks start to lose their own morals to defend their abuse. Okay, that we're dealing with today, even though we're not enslaved, but the mentality has been passed down from our elders. And I'm always going to call out the elders, the baby boomers, and those before them, because they're the main reason why we have a school up today. Kids are power and coming through it. If you came out and need to take ownership, and one thing they try to gaslight and be arrogant, no. You school that child's life, take ownership of it. It is what it is. I gotta go, y'all. Bye. Have a nice day.